Okay, hey everybody, El Super Beardo here. I know it's been quite a while since you've heard from me, and I'm sorry about that. No good explanation, really. Just laziness. It's also been really hot in my room because it's summertime, and that means I have to have a fan going, and the fan shows up on the recordings and can be somewhat distracting and probably pretty annoying for the viewer. So haven't been able to turn the fan off and survive, which has limited the amount that I can record. But you know what? It's okay now. It's like 75, maybe less. So I can probably survive for a while now, which is great. Anyway, I'm sure you're very interested in the temperature conditions of my room. But moving on, you can see what we've got going on here. This is Crusader Kings 2, and I've wanted to do a playthrough of this for a while, but I just haven't gotten around to it. Then I read about a mod for this that sets it in the Game of Thrones world, or country, kingdom of Westeros. And I've played a little bit of this already, and it is pretty fun. It's very well done. So I don't know really what else to say about it. If you've read Game of Thrones, then you'll know all the principal characters. If you haven't read Game of Thrones, go read it. It's amazing. Or if you've only seen the HBO series, you'll enjoy it as well. It's still a pretty early version of the mod, so there's not a lot of special things that happen. One big thing is the concept of mega wars, which will start, and I don't know what exactly causes them, but they basically bring the entire realm into the war, or attempt to, and it's just basically to spice things up a bit, it seems like, which is good. I mean, having played normal Crusader Kings 2, of course there is war in the game, but you can avoid it most of the time if you feel like it. This seems a little bit more unavoidable, so hopefully that'll be exciting for you guys. And of course, the real question is, who do we play as? You can start. There are only two scenarios right now, and one is during the rebellion of Robert Baratheon to take the crown away from King Aerys the Mad. The other one is right after the rebellion ends, when Robert is the king. So you can start immediately in the middle of the war against King Aerys, or you can start right afterwards when Robert is on the throne. I think I'm going to go with during Robert's rebellion. Obviously, that starts off a lot more exciting because there are troops everywhere, and it's just cool fighting in that war, which obviously is not really covered in the books. Is just awesome. I mean, they talk about it, but it's not part of the ongoing narrative because it's already happened. But it's just it's so cool. So if you don't know, you can obviously read this down here. Basically, King Aerys the Mad is mad and does crazy things. He likes to burn people, and he's kidnapped this guy, Lord Eddard Stark, kidnapped his sister, who is betrothed to Lord Robert Baratheon. And they start a war. And, a lot of the sentiment towards war has probably been brewing for a while. If you haven't read the books or watched the show, I don't know if this is the playthrough for you. I mean, obviously, I don't want to discourage viewers because I have precious few of them. But, at the same time, I don't want to bore people who already know all this shit with all the details of Westerosi history. So there you go. Now this is interesting. Let's see. As all but Balon Greyjoy and Tywin Lannister prepare to declare their allegiance, it's up to you to decide the fate of the Seven Kingdoms. Now, see, so the question is now, who do we play? Do we try and defend the Targaryen throne? Do we try and become the king by playing as Robert Baratheon? Do Do we play as everybody's favorite tragic figure, Lord Eddard Stark? Do we play as Robert Eddard's mentor, Jon Arryn? Do we play as Balon Greyjoy, who is a real badass, I have to say, but I think that's going to be a boring game because he only controls the Iron Islands here, and it's going to be difficult for him to branch out. Do we control the Lannisters, led by Lord Tywin? Everybody loves to hate the Lannisters for very good reason. They're kind of dicks. But Tyrion Lannister is probably the best character in the series, so they've got that going for them. Lord Rhaegar is the prince, can play the Dornishman, although I don't feel like that's very exciting. Lord Hoster Tully, the Riverlands, Lord Walder Frey. No spoilers for folks who are only watching the show. No spoilers. That's going to be tough. It's going to be tough not to give away spoilers, because I've read up to the 4th book, I think, the one right before Dance of Dragons, the most recent one, which I haven't read, so don't spoil it for me either. But, of course, people who are only watching the show have only seen the first 2, the events covered in the first 2 books, so I'm going to try not to spoil it for you guys, because that would be a frickin' shame. Roose Bolton, this guy... but you know what? I think we're going to go with... I've already played some of the game as Lord Eddard Stark. Of course, he's the first one I played, because everybody feels like they can do a little bit better job than the Starks did. And I was doing a very good job, actually. But I don't want to play as him again. Plus, they're all the way up here in the north. It takes forever for troops to move down here into the fray that is down here. So I don't think that's the best idea. I kind of want to play the Lannisters. Chances are they're going to be involved in a lot more wars, and you know what? If I lose, I won't be so sad, because they're the Lannisters, and they're dicks. So we're going to go with that. Tywin Lannister. Difficulty relatively hard. Interesting. Hopefully they've got some sort of financial advantage, as the Lannisters do in the books. Let's see, who are my vassals? How many vassals do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Wow. Okay, well that's a lot of vassals to take care of, but I think we'll be all right. Bing. Alright, so if you haven't played Crusader Kings 2, it takes a lot of explaining, but basically there are several levels of lordship. There's the king, whose vassals are the dukes. In this case, they are the Lord Paramounts, who in turn have their own vassals. The counts, who in this case are just lords, or high lords, I think, and then they have their own vassals who control these cities that are within each of these, what do you call these regions? Counties, I guess. Hopefully the music isn't too loud. It's really loud in my headphones, but I actually did a sound check this time, and it seemed like this was a good level for it, so hopefully that's alright. So yeah, it's pretty much a game of political ties and vassalage, and making sure that your vassals are happy enough that they don't rebel against you, because that causes all sorts of problems. So here's my character, Lord Tywin. His wife is his cousin. That's a little weird. Joanna Lannister. Lord Tyrion, of course. Tyrion the Imp. He's only 8 years old, apparently, when this war is going on. He also, Lady Cersei, she is 16. Jaime Lannister, who cannot inherit, is a bastard or divested. Okay, so that's probably because he's a member of the Kingsguard, right? Yes, Kingsguard. So they have implemented this Kingsguard feature. I don't know how they did it exactly, because they... Is this Kingsguard here? It looks vaguely Kingsguardish. No. So they're basically a faction that doesn't control any land. So that's why he is not the heir. He kind of should be, and I don't think there's a way to make him become the heir, which kind of sucks. Twin, formidable fighter. So obviously all the characters have all these traits that give them different abilities. I won't go into too much detail. So here's me. I don't have a liege right now because the realm is in rebellion, essentially, against the Targaryens. This sort of gives you a good idea of each of the different Lord Paramouncies, although we could probably show that here. Yeah, that's better. And then basically the High Lordships are different regions in each, different sub-regions in each region. It's kind of hard to explain, but you'll see how it works. And these are all the different High Lordships here, and then you can see my shield is much bigger, so I'm Lord Paramount, and then the kingdom is very snazzy, a big crest. So what are my titles? Lord Paramount of the Westerlands. You can see that's a bigger crown. High Lordship of Casterly Rock, so that is this area. Not there. These four, I guess. So that means these four lords are vassals, but also these high lords are vassals. So you can have multiple levels of title. I am the lord. You can see it's represented here with the size of the crown. I'm also the Lord of Casterly Rock. So all the money and troops from this lordship goes directly to me. But all the money and troops from all these sub-lordships, all these vassal lordships, I can call upon them, but they don't give me all their troops, and the money that they give me is dependent upon the laws of the land. So you can see here, feudal taxation is minimum, so they don't give me a lot of money, but they do give me a medium amount of levies, and you can change this. I think you're only allowed one change every 10 years or something like that. But obviously there are penalties. People don't like it when you take more money or take more of their people. So there you go. And then, so each lordship has these things. There's usually a castle, a church, and a city. In this case, there's no city, so I won't be getting a lot of money, which is odd because the Lannisters are supposed to be rich. But you can build something here, so I guess that's good. What else? Lordship of Castamere, that's right. So, a little bit of history here. The Rains of Castamere rebelled against the Lannisters, and the Lannisters burned all their stuff to the ground and killed them all. And it was so famous that somebody made a song called The Rains of Castamere, and they're no longer there. So they just basically took it over and said, don't anybody rebel against us again, and it was very effective. So, there we go. Let's see, what messages do we have waiting for us? Council positions. I am unmarried because my wife is dead. And pick an ambition. Send for a maester from the Citadel. Now, I didn't see this last time. When I was playing as Ned Stark, Maester Loon died, and it was very sad, but then I never got another one, which was strange. But maybe they fixed it and like auto-updated or something, which would be pretty cool. Show owners of Valyrian swords? Wow, okay. Show friends and rivals. Interesting. I don't think that's quite right. But that's cool. Does that cost money? Let's do that. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. You don't see anyone as your friend, nobody sees you as their friend. You don't see one as your rival. No, okay, well, I guess... What? I guess I can just click on any of these. Okay, bye. Show owners of Valyrian swords. They are... Look at the tooltip. Gotcha. Lord Randall. Tarly. Davith. Don't know who that is. Borman. No idea. Dunstan. Don't know. Eddard Stark, of course, has ice. Arthur Dane. And J.R. Mormont. I can't remember the name. Is it Longclaw? Oh, embarrassing. Anyway, I don't have one. Buy knighthood. That's not an option. I don't remember seeing these, but I didn't really look at this too much. So, alright, we definitely want to send for a maester. We can't afford it. We'll do that. Alright. And other than that, there's not really any good ambitions, so there you go. Open council positions, only the maester. Lord Tyran, who is our something. So each of our counselors can do various things. I don't think there's a need for me to assign them quite yet, because I don't know what the situation is. I'm unmarried. Right. So yeah. We're just going to hit play, and some stuff's going to go on. As you can see, there are some troops being built here. The war has not officially started, but we should get a pop-up fairly soon. There we go. Oh. Good. The Mad King Ares has provoked Eddard Stark, Robert Baratheon, and their allies into rebellion through his tyrannical actions. The king has repeatedly slighted me, despite my loyal service as a hand of the king. I will not jump to his aid for now. We shall profit in some way. You want to play with seasons, so this is nice. Start with a short summer, start with a normal summer. So you can see everybody. Tyget, I don't even know who you are. You want Castamere. Did I promise to arrange it? I don't think I did. You're not ready, Tyget, and I need the money. So you can see all these guys are massing to fight. Okay. Okay. Alright, I don't know. What do you want? No. So, all these people are massing. I am not going to help either side. We're just going to profit. We're going to find a way to profit. We're going to see... Jeez. Okay, great. We're going to see about what we can do. See if we can let all these guys drain all their resources, and then maybe come in and steal somebody's land. Alright, I'm unmarried. Right, tutor for Tyrion. Well, he's going to be good with numbers. It's going to make me broke, but I can make that back. Great, you do that, Kevin. What was I going to do? This game can be very distracting, right? What do my vassals think of me? Okay, good. Alright, only one person really likes me. The other ones we'll have to do. Alright, Septon, Ashmark, Tendrain, Golden Tooth, River Spring. They're all negative, but none of them are at risk for rebellion. Cersei Lannister wants to marry a ruler. Do you? Well, what's going on here? Okay, so the Reach is actually joining the war on the side of the Targaryens. Interesting. Cersei wants to marry a ruler. Well, unfortunately, I believe... Okay, I can't see who he has prisoner. I don't believe he's actually killed Lyanna Stark yet. Yeah. She's still alive, but she's in prison, so... We'll get on that, Cersei, I promise. And I should probably find somebody to marry as well. So who would make a good ally? It's a good question. I kind of think the Dornish would make a good ally. Of course. In the books, they hate the Lannisters. Because I think what might be best is either to try and take over the Riverlands, or take over the Reach. The Reach obviously is very large, but if we can bring the Dornish into the war, it'll cause them to split their forces. Another option is to ally with the Vale, which wouldn't be bad. I think Dorne would be a very profitable ally to have. So, you have an heir. She's only 6. But, I wouldn't mind marrying her, because that would mean that my grandson, if I had a grandson by her, okay, died comatose in bed at the age of 17. That's a shame. Actually, what I want to do